Hello everyone, welcome to slimwithus.online. My name is Craig, and for tonight's video I thought we would just grab a recipe from the website and see how we go. Basically, like you would do at home, you would go onto the website. For this recipe, the link will be below. Bacon and cheeseburger pasta bake. Spent a couple of minutes going through a few recipes, and this is the type of thing that, yeah, I would like, and also my son would probably really enjoy it. So this is the first time I've done this. Let's see how it goes, and do it step by step. We'll go through it with you, and at the end we'll see what it's like, shall we? So to start off with, I've got a few of the ingredients out. I have had a quick glance through it. 4 slices of smoked bacon. This is just your standard back bacon. I'm going to cut off the fat, so I'm going to get 4 slices of that. 400 grams of minced beef, so this is extra lean, 5%. 1 large onion, so I think I should have an onion here. 360 ml of crushed tomatoes or passata. Well, this is leftover passata that I had from a recipe I did the other night. It's 500 grams, and it's probably about 300 ml left, maybe slightly over, so that's fine. 360 ml of water, that's easy enough. I'll just get some of that from the tap. So that's about 360, no problem. Tomato puree, and we want 1 tablespoon, so okay. Get a tablespoon of tomato puree. Should be good. If you can, try and get the tomato puree without the added oil. Roughly a tablespoon of light soy sauce. 1 tablespoon of dark soy sauce. So I'm going to pour this in as well. We want 2 tablespoons of sweetener. Okay, that's not a problem. So let's get another bowl. And let's get some tablespoon, and we want 2 tablespoons of sweetener. That's okay. Good. This is a natural sweetener. I don't like the artificial. It's a little bit chemically. A tablespoon of balsamic. I should have some balsamic. Yep, that's my balsamic. Here, you'll have to bear with me on this. Normally I would have got the ingredients already, but as today I decided to just pick a recipe and do it as you would do at home, I thought I'll show you from start to finish. It's probably just as same, just as well, maybe a little bit more entertaining, not really sure. Okay, we got 1 tablespoon of paprika. Let's get a tablespoon of this. Lovely. Wanted too spicy, it's supposed to be a barbecue cheeseburger. 1 teaspoon of paprika smoked. Good, okay. Smoked paprika. And we want a teaspoon. So this one's a little bit easier. I can get the spoon in. Mustard powder next. We got 1/2 teaspoon, so that's the little one. I'm putting all the dried ingredients in the same bowl. There's no point dirtying bowls. 1/2 teaspoon of onion. There's no problem. Let's get some onion in there. Good. And then how many of garlic? 1/2 again. Okay. Probably easier to remember. 1/2 and 1/2 and 1/2. And this is the garlic. These are just the seasoning and spices that don't really have to be that accurate. I like to throw a little bit more spice into some things. pickled gherkins, well, they're going to be in the fridge. The cheddar's going to be in the fridge, and there's my cheddar. Gherkins will be there, and spring onions in the salad. Good. So 2 spring onions, already got salt and pepper. 120 gram of this, so we'll measure this out in a minute. Pasta shapes here. Which shape should we have? Penny? Or should we have these nice? No, we'll have penny, I think, because they're already open, so they've got to be used. So I need 240 grams of that. So I'm going to go through this, like I mentioned, step by step, and you can follow me. You can cook along if you like. If you get all these ingredients ready, then you can also cook along with me, and we'll see how it goes. It does go in the oven at 180 degrees, fan assisted, for approximately 25 to 30 minutes. So actually, I think we should be able to preheat our oven. Oven to 180 degrees. So that's preheating. Let's get there's our dry spice. There's our wet. Let's get a bowl. You can tell I'm not organized today, can't you? So we want 240 of this. Yep. Oop, far too much. And this serves 4 people, so that's okay. 204. So 4 slices of bacon. So let's get this sliced up. And we want 4 rashers of smoked bacon. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and what I'm going to do with this is just literally trim off the fat. So we've only got that part of the medallion part, I suppose, of the actual bacon itself. I'm looking for a sharper knife. I think this one should be okay. It's a heavier knife. So cut these up into little dice pieces. And we need to fry these off on a gentle heat. I've actually got my cast iron pan on today. Okay, so that's the oven up to temperature. I just heard a beep. It's not supermarket sweep. Got my cast iron pan. So the first instruction is add the bacon to the deep frying pan on a medium heat and fry until golden brown. So let's do that. I'm going to wash my hands a minute. Okay, so let's get back to it. So let's turn on. Just get that down to a medium heat there, and then we're going to fry off the bacon bits. On the bacon, I don't really need to use fry lights, to be honest with you, because even though I did cut off and I trimmed off most of the actual fat, if you can see on the camera, there is slightly little bits of fat on there, but it's very minimal. It won't affect what we're doing today at all. So once that's doing, let's chop up the rest of the ingredients. I want that to get to a medium heat. The spring onions can then go into a bowl, so let's cut this up. So I'm not going to use the ends of the spring onions, but you can also then peel them, just get the outside off. So I'm just going to chop these up nice, any old way really. It doesn't really matter. And then towards the green bits, I'm just going to turn them onto its side and just make them a little bit prettier. Yeah, lovely. So if any of you are familiar with my previous videos, you know that I like my vegetables chunky, but in this pasta bake I'm going to do them a little bit smaller. Okay, so that's the onion, that's done. We need a couple of gherkins, so let's get these ready as well. Okay, so 2 to 3 gherkins. You're probably thinking I can't count because this is 4, but they're only small gherkins. So my son is not fussed on gherkins. No point putting too many in, it'll just spoil the dish for him. Let's get the bacon in there then, and let's start frying this up. Okay, I'll wash that in a minute. Let's get a wooden spoon. There's a wooden one here. We can fry these around. And because it's a cast iron, it really needs seasoning again, but it will make them crisp up nice. Get all that added water out of them that the supermarkets tend to put in the meats these days. Wash that. Good. This is coming along nicely. As you can see, we haven't used any oil, but they're browning up just as nice. Just a light frying, and that looks just about right. So I'm going to get a plate and take them out. I'm going to over cook them. I think that's quite nice actually. So just pour these. Good, yeah, should be right. Good. Okay, I'm going to leave that. I'm not going to wash that because that's still going to be flavour for when I do the beef. Okay, so add the onions and fry lightly and golden. With this, I probably will use a little bit of fry light because there is natural water in the onions, but that was actually a bit too much, I think. I need to watch what I'm spraying in these. I was always told that one spray was 1 cow, but because we're in units, I don't really think that counts. But it's not called, this is just a light spray. Unless it's a different brand that does the 1 cow version. I'm not sure. Okay, so I'm going to sweat these off. As per instructions. Okay, once that's done, I'll take them out as well, and then I'll add the ground beef until it's brown, seasoned with salt and pepper. That's fine. Straightforward enough. I hope you're all following. Are you cooking along? If you are, brilliant. If you're not, this video will be on our website and also uploaded to YouTube, so you can play it at any time. If you do like this video, or if you got any other suggestions, you may leave comments in the box below. If you do like it, please click the like button. It helps the site. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel. And then whenever I release a new video, or new videos are released and recipes are uploaded, you'll get notifications. You can see the lovely colour when you're using a cast iron pan that you get. Get them all nice and neat. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to transfer this on top of the bacon. I think these are sweated off quite nice now. Look at the colour, lovely colour. And the flavour from the actual bacon that was on the bottom of the pan, that's all been absorbed into the onions, which is lovely. So it does say add a bit of salt, Susie salt, Percy pepper. Who used to say that? I can't remember, one of the chefs. So I added that now. Didn't add too much because I don't know how salty the bacon is at this stage, and I will taste it later just to see whether it needs any additional seasoning, but we should be good to go. So I'm going to take this off the heat as well, put all this on the plate, and I'm going to use the same pan to do the ground beef. So what we got here, where's my little knife? Open this up and put that in. So now I just want to break this up slightly, because otherwise it tends to go into big clumps. So I just want to mix all this up. And a lot of water will actually come out of the meat as well. Unfortunately, the supermarkets tend to pump a load of water in there. But the bigger the pan that you actually use, the more the surface area, so there's more chance it's going to evaporate away. But I will drain these as well, because when I'm making like a spaghetti bolognese or anything really with mincemeat from a supermarket, you tend to get all that water, which is not too good. I don't like it. But as you can see on this one, there's no fat, it is just water, because this is a very lean meat. Once this is just browned off, keep on pushing it down with your spoon or your fork or your wooden spoon here, and try and break it up as much as possible. Otherwise it'll tend to go into clumps, and that's not really what you want. You want everyone to have a fair share of the meat. Okay, I think that's browned off lovely, but now I'm going to just drain the meat. In the colander. Just get rid of the excess water. Lovely. Okay, let's put that over here. Don't need that now. Let's get another small plate. And there's our ground beef. So, like I said, I'm going to use a cast iron pan for this. So I'll put that into the middle for you before putting it into the oven. Just to show you, the pasta bake can be done in a oven-proof shallow baking tray. If you want a baking pot, but I've got this cast iron pot which I tend to do all my stews in, which I actually love. It's brilliant. So let's put the pasta on. And pinch of salt in the water, pasta in, and cook this until it's al dente. So it's just about done, but not properly done. So the packet basically says 11 minutes. So I'm going to cook this for 6 minutes, 7 minutes, and then we'll put it all together. The pasta's come into a boil, so let's get our pot ready and we can start reducing this to get everything ready for it to go into the oven. And as soon as the pasta is ready, I'll add it in, we'll stir, add the cheese, and away we go. Okay, so now I've added in the onions and the bacon. I'm also going to add in the meat. Bring all this to a nice simmer with the wet ingredients. We can put it on a lower heat and then maybe transfer this over. When you do these cast iron pots, be very, very careful because they do get hot, and you can end up burning yourself. Okay, wet ingredients in, water in, that's it. Get all the tomato off. Passata in. Lovely. I'll stir this around. And bring that to a boil. Let it bubble away until it reduces. Once the sauce is thickened around the ground beef, taste and season is necessary, so I may need to add some more salt and pepper. Stir in the pasta and transfer to an oven-proof dish. Cook the ground beef in a cast iron skillet, which I'm doing. So basically, once this is reduced and thickened slightly, so it's covering the beef, I think this pasta needs another couple of minutes. Not quite al dente. Still a bit hard. What I mean by al dente is, if nobody's aware, is the pasta it basically is nearly cooked through, but it's got a little bite to it towards the end, so it's not 100% totally cooked. Dry ingredients in. Let's mix all this around. The problem is with pasta and then going back into this type of dish is I don't want it to be cooked much, which I think is probably nearly there. Okay, so I'm going to add the pasta now. I'm hoping that's going to reduce quite a bit. I'm not really sure. Looking at the recipe, it looks like a dry dish with a little bit of sauce going around it. The picture's a bit small, I mean, on this printout, so can't really tell, but it looks like a little bit of a dry dish. So I think I'm going to have to let this reduce quite a bit. It will reduce in the oven, but more importantly, I'm going to get some of that liquid reduced on the hob first. Let's get our cheese ready. I have a grater somewhere. Where's my cheese grater? There. We might as well grate the cheese. My son is not fussed on cheese, so I'm only going to be putting cheese on maybe half of it, so he can still enjoy the pasta bake without being spoilt with cheese. It's a bit strange. He doesn't mind cheese on pizza, but he doesn't like cheese on anything else. So I probably won't use all this cheese. Let's see how much it covers. Okay, this can go in the sink. This can go in the bin. Let's reduce this down. That one can go off. I can smell the paprika. Now, I'm not one for criticizing, but what I would have done here, so the dry ingredients I would have added to the ground beef while in the pan, in the cast iron frying pan, and just cooked them off slightly. I got that really from doing some curry recipes, because when you put spices in, they can be a little bit raw. You need to cook them out a little bit, otherwise you get that powdery type of taste. So hopefully they'll cook out, well, they probably will cook out in the oven like this, but I tend to put them into the meat and fry them with the meat for a few minutes before, so the meat is actually spiced. Okay, so I think let's give this 5 minutes and then I'll transfer it to the oven, and then roughly 15, 20, 25 minutes. Yeah, so if I put it in a 10 to, and then we'll say about 1:15, we can actually have a look and see what it's like. This is the first time I've done this recipe, so if it doesn't turn out that good, don't worry, I'll give you my honest opinion towards the end. Okay, like I said, these cast irons, pots and pans tend to get really hot on the handles as well, so get your tea towel, put this in, and then we'll come back at roughly 10 past, add the cheese, let that melt until it's nice and bubbly on top, and then we'll serve and sprinkle on some spring onions. So we'll come back later. If anyone's wondering where the pinny or apron is today, the Slim with us, it's in the wash, and Sean asked me to do a video at short notice. That's why I was unsure what to do really, so we decided to pick a recipe and go with it. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm well on target to reach my weight. I'm hoping by this time next week, today's Sunday, this time next week, I'm hoping to be close to 80 kilos. That would have meant I've already lost 8.6 kilos since New Year's Eve. We've now the 1st of February. So 1 month, that's not too bad, 8.6 kilos. I think I've done pretty well. I think I'm going to reset my my target to 72, which is the highest of what NHS recommend. And I think then that should be good. and then I can start concentrating on toning my beer belly. You can still see, still there, which I'm not too happy about. My own fault for drinking beer, but there you go. And what I think I'll do, I'll give a dish to Connor and ask him for his opinion. So you'll have 2 reviews today. Okay, it's nearly 10 past. So I'm going to take this out. I'm going to sprinkle on the cheese and then change my oven to the grill setting. Yeah, that's quite good. Keep the heat in. Like I said, I'm not going to use all the cheese. I'm only going to put it on half. Okay, so I'm going to put on grilling, change it to back to 180 degrees, and then leave this in for another 4 or 5 minutes. But I don't think this is going to need more seasoning, to be honest with you, because of the bacon. And some bacon's a little bit salty, and then the cheese is salt in the cheese. So yeah, I think seasoning is going to be good. But you can always add seasoning. You can never take it away. I'm sure this is going to be piping hot, hotter than the sun. So I'll have to let it cool down before tasting it, otherwise it'll take the roof of my mouth off. Okay, that's 1/4 past. Let's see if this cheese is melted. Yeah, that's okay, that's good. That's lovely. Okay, it could be there. Very nice. This can go in. Turn that off. So I'm going to dish up, and then okay, so I'll dish mine up first because I do like a bit of cheese. Lovely. Well, this looks beautiful, to be honest with you. Spring over some spring onions, and this is far too hot to eat at the moment, so I'm actually going to make a quick salad to put on the side. I'll put some of this salad on the side with some fresh tomatoes. Nice. Okay. Fit for a king, I say. Okay, so let's give it a go. It looks very good. It's not too moist like I thought it was going to be. Actually, the pasta's now cooked to perfection because it was al dente when we put it in. The cooking process is finished in the oven. Doesn't need more seasoning. Definitely not. You can taste the smoke of the paprika. The garlic is not overpowering. The onion granules, that smokiness comes through. Very nice. Very good. Let me get a bit of cheese. I think the cheese has fallen to the bottom. Tastes like a hamburger. Very nice, actually, yeah. Well, this is something I'll definitely make again. I think my son is going to love it. This has got to be a good 8, 9 out of 10. Definitely. This is bang on, fair play. So CJ, I'm going to try it, and I've asked him for his opinion as well.
Well, it's good actually. Very nice.
You taste the smokiness of the paprika.
So, good bacon in it.
Yeah. Bacon in there as well. Something I should make again.
Definitely.
And it's from the Slim with This online website. So that's good for you. Out of 10?
No, I'd have to finish it first. No, definitely give it a 9.5. Really nice.
Really?
Yeah, really nice.
Good. I'd give it a good 8, maybe 9. The actual texture reminds me like of a spaghetti bolognese texture. But it's got that smokiness. You haven't got cheese on yours. But I've got a little bit of grated cheddar. And because of the bacon, it's basically a barbecue bacon and hamburger pasta bake.